Today on an all-new Dr. Phil. An explosive family feud.
She was just grabbing my neck and choking me.
She said she was going to slit my throat ear to ear.
The police have been called at least 20 times.
What do you really want out of today?
I'm here to ask Dr. Phil,
who is the only person who complains about excuse me.
You can all three talk at the same time. Nobody's hearing anybody. Guys, come on. Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. You know, it's hard enough being home during the pandemic, even if you get along with your family. But a recent study reveals there has been a 56% increase in parent-child conflicts during quarantine. And that is certainly the case with mom Desiree and her daughter Adrienne. Now, Desiree wanted to evict Adrienne, but said she couldn't due to COVID. And that's when things went, well, they just went from bad to worse, with the police being called 20 times in 5 months. Now, mom said her daughter destroyed the home and left it infested with rats and trash and writing all over the walls. So she finally kicked her out 2 weeks ago. Now, Desiree's other daughter, Erica, says, I am their last hope. So she packed her family in 2 cars and drove across the country to see me. But being together on the road nonstop for 3 days was a mother-daughter disaster.
Are you guys continuing to go to the Dr. Phil show? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
I want to go. I'm not going there. You guys get a hold of them. You can tell them to give me the ride back. I am done. That's family and me. You guys, this is the last you'll see of me. I am getting the out of here. All right, so...
Well, Erica says she's done being in the middle and wants her mother and sister to stop their war, or she says she's just walking away.
I would describe my family as hostile, toxic, and vicious.
Take your blood transfusion ass and just keep going.
The names they call each other are horrible.
You're a piece of...
My sister calls my mom names like old, fat, disgusting.
You go to your own court date, you old-ass hag.
My mom doesn't just sit there and take the name calling. She gives it right back to her. My family hasn't gotten along in 30 years. They just hate each other. My childhood consisted of physical violence, fighting, and yelling. Growing up, I had a decent relationship with my mom. Now, my relationship with her is almost non-existent. She's selfish, rude, and obnoxious. Adrienne has always been the bully. She gets loud or gets aggressive. My mom and my sister don't have a mom and daughter relationship anymore. My sister is like the boss, the controller, and my mom lives in fear.
Stay home. That's why I ran like a bitch.
The police have been called at least 20 times in the past 5 months. My sister's been living with my mom for 2 years and hasn't paid rent. Earlier this year, I had my mom and my sister come to my house so we can set up a plan for my sister to start paying her way.
I hate you. I pray on your death that God will take your breath away.
Everything started to get chaotic. I knew my sister was getting to a point where she was very mad and enraged, and that's when she came over to my mom.
Adrienne! 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 Why did you just do that?
Just choke me!
She just jumped on my couch, whopped her in the face, and then choked her, like all the way back into my couch.
I didn't choke you, I slapped you.
I feel as though I'm the referee. I'm always trying to stop situations going back to my childhood. If my family doesn't listen to Dr. Phil and get some real help, I will need to walk away from my family and there will be no more relationship with me and them.
But Adrienne says she shouldn't be the only one blamed for the family's arguments. Erica fights with their mother, too.
The idea that my mom and my sister get along is an absolute myth. Even on the drive out here, there was a fight before they got in the car.
Why don't you just take it down a notch?
Rotate on it.
Mom, there's a lot going on right now.
Bitch.
Please
Shut
stop.
Up. I don't give a what's going on.
They had to get separate hotel rooms because they couldn't get along.
Are you guys continuing to go to the Dr. Phil show? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
You're getting the out of here.
My mom is the biggest problem. She never likes to have any peace in the family.
She has told me she was going to slit my throat ear to ear.
My mom is always looking to start fights with me. She's not fighting because she doesn't love me. She's really fighting with everyone because she doesn't love herself. The times that I've been physical with my mother is to protect myself and wrestle her for her keys when she would be drinking and driving. She's slapped me repeatedly in the face before. The only thing I do is push her away from me. This is my motto for her, I tell her all the time. Disturb my peace and I'm calling the police.
The reason why I had been calling the cops, she told Erica that she was going to shoot me before.
It is very embarrassing to have the cops have to carry your drunk, screaming mother away who's fighting and biting the police. We've gotten into a fight. I believe I did slap her in the face. Maybe I just went like that and put my hands on her. It was very quick. It wasn't like no mark was even there.
She choked me. My neck is all red. Why do you hate me so much?
Why can't you talk to your child?
I moved out of the house because I knew it was getting serious. My family is extremely dysfunctional, and we all need a big wake-up call because there's nothing anyone can say without it being a huge blow-up argument.
What's your payoff for all this? Well, what are you getting out of this?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing at all.
Oh, no, that's not true. Now, hold on. Let's stop. Let's stop right now. Let's stop before we even start. When I say, what's your payoff, you live like wild animals. You yell, you scream, you fight, you live in a trash dump. I mean, come on. What do you really want out of today?
Healing and a family.
Really?
I would say that would be starting with going off of the truth.
Yeah.
And that would be how the house is, how it got that way. And then moving through the truth would help us get it out of the way. What's our issue?
Well, he just asked a
So
different
what's your payoff for all of this?
I don't have a payoff for this.
Everybody has a payoff.
My
You don't
payoff
do
for this?
anything consistently without a payoff.
No, I moved years ago so I could get away from this. My payoff has been nice. I'm here to ask what your problem is with me. I want to know what the deep things are with you and Mom against me.
Like, even on the trip, I was to be coming alone, and they fought before we even left the road, on the road. My mom had to come in the vehicle with me. It was terrible fighting.
It wasn't fighting. Fighting is
my mom
two
was
people.
sad that she had to go back.
I wasn't even speaking
with
to her
Erica.
back. I just stayed quiet, and I was driving the whole way myself.
For
I
years.
didn't talk back to her. I have it on
Is this how
tape.
you guys communicate? Because you're both talking at the same time.
I just asked you what you have a problem with, and I didn't get an answer.
We can't. I just said
You
we
didn't
can't
just,
communicate.
You said you try to come with me.
If I come to you, okay, well,
just said,
for instance, the last fight that the main fight that we just got into, I believe, was, it wasn't about your daughter, but that's a huge thing why we've been fighting for years, too.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Every fight we have is you leaving my house. I have tons of recording. Every time you leave my house, even if it's after I cooked you dinner, took care of you, served you, took care of you in my home like I was your maid. And then you leave my house calling me stupid, insecure. Oh, you feel smarter having a conversation after speaking with me. You diss me every time you leave. I'm done for 30 years of hearing you bash me. And today I want to know, what is your problem with me? I don't have a problem with you. I forgive you for stealing from me in multiple ways, not just money, but a lot of things, even joy. And I keep forgiving you and welcoming you back. You do not do the same for me. Today,
Erica,
my moral
you
of
never
this,
apologize.
I've been
You think you have no
I
problem.
can try. I don't have the reason why none of the tapes are me calling anybody outside their name. I don't want you to have to.
If you don't call anybody outside of their name and get angry in that way, it's different.
I do not treat you bad.
Are y'all at all curious why I've let you just bicker back and forth?
Just going back and forth, yeah.
I'm sorry?
Just because we were just, I don't know.
No, I think the way people behave here is a microcosm of the way you behave out there. So I just thought I would observe how you guys communicate, which is not at all. You both talk at the same time, which means you're not hearing each other. Just like I said, you weren't listening to me, you don't listen to her, you don't listen to her. If you get nothing else out of today, and I hope you create value out of today, it's up to you, not me, but do you get that you're not really listening to each other, you're just both venting?
Yeah.
And there's a third corner to this triangle. Up next, she was halfway to L.A. and threatened to just head home. So will Desiree be able to hear the truth from her daughters and stay out here on the stage with me? Or are we going to have Drama Class 102? Well, we'll find out after the break.
Adrian is a person that likes to control every single thing around her. The last time I've told her to move out, she said, evict me. I'm not moving, and I'm going to torture you until the day that I move out.
And later, do you threaten to put your mother in jail?
I've had marks, scratches. All I say now is disturbs my peace, and I'm calling the police.
Can you do lie detector tests?
Adrian plays the victim. She thinks that my mom likes me more than her, and she's jealous of that. But it's not the case. I just go out of my way to not fight with her. Adrian doesn't do that. She can't help herself to instigate and to start a fight, and that's what makes me think that they both like it. It's called toxic living.
Well, Erica says her sister's relationship with her mother, Desiree, is toxic. But Adrian says their mother causes the fights, and she basically just defends herself and has been for a long, long time. Now, however, when we spoke to Desiree, she said Adrian is a controlling bully who threatens to call the police whenever they fight.
Adrian is manipulative and bossy. Adrian is a person that likes to control every single thing around her.
Take your blood transfusion ass and just keep going.
She bullies me. She's bullied her sister, too.
Did she run our house for 10 years? Did she run our house for 10 years?
She started being controlling and bossy and a bully.
We always had to listen to her. She realized that she could get me arrested just by calling the police and get me taken away because she knows I'm on probation.
You're going to felony prison because of me. Do you get that? I'm going to talk to your probation officer tomorrow.
When she would have me arrested, she would literally come out on the lawn, looking at me going, bye, lady. Adrian has been living with me most of her 33 years. I don't even want to come out of my room when she's home. The last time I've told her to move out, she said, evict me. I'm not moving, and I'm going to torture you until the day that I move out. In the last 20 years, I would say we've had 6 pretty good physical altercations. In January, we started talking, and I told Adrian, I still want you to move out.
There's no more discussion. She's out of the house.
And that's when she literally lunged across the room and attacked me.
Adrian! Adrian! Adrian!
She was just grabbing my neck and choking me. I cut Adrian out of my life because I realized she doesn't care about me at all.
Well, Desiree, I'm glad you're here. I understand that getting here, there was a lot of drama on the road trip. They say you were a problem the whole way. Did you not want to come? Or did you want to come?
I wanted to come. I just got out of the hospital with a transfusion. I was sick. I wanted to rest in quiet, and there was a lot of music for a lot of hours. I just wanted peace.
She didn't want to come.
She didn't want to come?
No, she's been saying she didn't want to come. So she hasn't made it easy on anybody, but being honest, you didn't want to come.
I never said I didn't want to
Okay.
All she's been saying is, I can't believe I'm here on a trip I didn't want to come on.
Everybody has been saying they were going to back out.
I mean, it's hard to expose your whole family to the world. That part I didn't want to enjoy, I can tell you that. And as you can see, we can't talk, so I knew it was.
Well, here's what you said in the parking lot.
Are you guys continuing to go to the Dr. Phil show? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
I want to go. I'm not going there. You guys get a hold of them. You can tell them to give me the ride back. I am done. That's family and me. You guys, this is the last you'll see of me. I am getting the out of
All right,
here.
so
Yeah, I did say that.
That's in the parking garage.
That was afterward. Yeah, I was going to go home that night. I had had enough. I was physically and mentally drained.
Okay.
At that point.
Well, on the road trip, day one, they say you made the family 2 hours late getting on the road. You were angry about the car music, called Erica names, refused to stay in a hotel room with Erica, had to get a third room. Then on day two, 2 hours late again, refused to get in Erica's car, switched to Adrian's.
No, that's not true.
Not true.
None of that is true.
Erica complained about the room, wanted to be separate.
I was told I was getting
actually
excuse
me to change the rooms for her. Didn't think it was fair that she had to be put with my mom. And I said, well, you should have lied and said you have a great relationship with mom.
Absolutely. In fact,
And then I had to calm my mom down as normal and let her ride with me.
No, my daughter said they're getting you a ticket home. You aren't staying. That's why I said I was leaving.
The problem that I'm having constantly, and the main part or reason why I'm here, is because I can't be heard. I want to tell you, none of that is what you just said. I have not wanted to not be in the room with you. I just don't. I think we should follow hotel rules, and I'm not going to get into it, but she was being defiant against me, so I said I'm going to tell, which was childish. I don't pretend I have a good relationship. I am telling the truth on it. It isn't me why we argue. I'm calm, cool, and collected, and I don't have to be a part of this. That's why I'm done.
I do want to say,
if we can't be hearing each other now, I'm done, is what I'm saying. All these lies that you guys do.
She was pretty much telling me what to do every step of the way, like I was a 2-year-old child.
Okay, wait a minute. Is this really how y'all want to spend your time? Seriously?
No,
because you don't need me for this.
I do.
If you really want some peace in your life.
No, she doesn't.
Isn't that what you all want? I mean, don't you want some peace in your life?
Yes.
Yeah. We want peace in our life, yeah. We can't even simply have a conversation about something that happened just the other day and actually be honest about it. There's no honesty.
Because everything that has just been told about this trip is not even true.
That I can vouch for that.
So I didn't make nobody late. We went on a lot of stuff and they weren't late because of me.
Okay, wait a second. Erica was 2 hours late.
At a UTI.
I was out at the car at 8:30. We were supposed to leave at 8. That's 30 minutes.
You're both talking again. Are you guys slow learners or what?
I was just explaining to you.
Seriously, no, but you're both talking at the same time. Do you not get that? There's a pattern here. Well, there's a pattern here. When two people are talking at once, nobody's hearing anybody. All right, coming up, Desiree let Adrian live in her house for 5 years and paid all the bills. So what did Adrian do to repay her? Well, her mom says she completely destroyed the house. Adrian says, no. That's all out of context. Well, we'll let one person talk about that when we come back.
Adrian has trashed my mother's house. It looks condemned. The whole neighborhood knows that that is the drama house. It looks scary. It smells putrid. There's trash, maggots, tons of food that has been stuck in the pots and pans for days. She wrote on the walls.
The writing on the wall was already approved by my mom because we were painting them. They just never got painted.
Desiree says even though her daughters, Erica and Adrian, hold the past against her, she is still being an active parent. She even allowed Adrian to live in her home the past 5 years while Desiree paid all the bills. But not only did Adrian take advantage of her kindness, Desiree says she completely destroyed her house.
Adrian has trashed my mother's house to a point where it looks condemned.
I did not trash the house. I've cleaned up that house.
And every time I've cleaned it up, she trashes it again. She wrote on the walls all kinds of spiritual sayings and it's motivational stuff, artwork, just showing a complete disrespect for my mother's home.
The writing on the wall was already approved by my mom because we were painting them. They just never got painted.
Adrian had her dogs and she did not want to take them out to the bathroom. She would let them go in the house.
The dog mess in that house is not from my dogs. It is from the 2 homeless people that my mom had let live at her house.
It's embarrassing. The whole neighborhood knows that that is the drama house. It looks scary. It smells putrid. There's a ton of mulch in the house. There's trash, maggots, tons of food that has been stuck in the pots and pans for days, weeks. The food that has been left out in the kitchen has attracted rats. I shot that video 2 weeks ago, and the house still looks like that now.
Okay, now, guys, come on. There's no excuse for living like this.
I had the pots and pans that have food in them. They are all my pots and pans and all her cooking. And when I would bring it up, I helped her throw a bunch of them out on the back deck like a couple months ago. They had maggots in them, and I didn't get mad. I said, I don't care about my pots and pans. I helped her once, and I just said, I'm not helping her again.
Oh, okay, I'm looking at these pictures.
That's only the last few weeks.
None of those are mine at all, and I will take a lie detector test. I did not cook in none of those pots and pans since the kitchen and all that stuff when you come in and did that. I stopped cooking in that kitchen.
I have video of 2 weeks ago what the house looked like.
Well, you probably cleaned it up knowing you were coming on here. So
what are you talking about? I cleaned it up last year. I have pictures.
You weren't there last year.
I lived there last year.
Well,
yes, I
that's
did.
the thing about cleaning a house. You know, you clean it, you clean it, you clean it, and then next year you got to do it again.
I wasn't living there to clean it every day.
All that is her stuff right there.
You should be ashamed that you're living this way. Seriously, are you telling me if I call somebody to go over and take a picture right now, it's not going to look like this?
No. Oh, it is right now. I just said it wasn't a month ago or 2 months ago.
She's trying to kill her grass by doing that. She's putting that down on purpose.
Oh, I believe you got her done.
It's a mulch.
I believe you got that grass under control there.
And to clarify about the bills, I paid all the bills, and she didn't pay anything at all.
Well, I think
I paid $140 to keep it on.
You paid $140 one time.
And I paid the taxes.
That's because we were fighting.
Last year you lived there and you had a roommate.
She would leave all the electricity on all the time.
The problem is, Dr. Phil, if we can ask you to please help us not talk anymore about that and just move forward to the problems. That's not the root of anything.
Okay, so the root of the problem.
You paid the bills in the beginning. Can I finish?
So what I want to talk about too is what about the deeper issue?
I was staying quiet while you talked.
What about the deeper issue?
Tell me what your problem is.
Because you messing up the house that I've been.
I didn't been in that house at all.
I'm not talking about you.
Erica, has the house.
It doesn't have anything to do with it. You guys,
the house looked like that while I lived there? Because this is what's being portrayed now.
Did I live like that?
I gave up and I had nowhere to bring the garbage. Did you want me to carry it on my back?
She lived there. A little bit different here and there, but to dissect that doesn't matter.
Who's the only person that cleaned that home?
I don't care.
Who?
I want to know what the problem is.
Who is the only person?
Because I'm not talking to any of you. I'm not talking to you guys anymore. Unless this changes, I'm not going to do it.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm here to ask Dr. Phil.
So far, nothing's been true. You said I was 2 hours late. I wanted to leave the room.
Dr.
So
Phil,
far, you're not.
The house was not trashed because of me. I've been responsible to pick it up. I asked Erica's boyfriend if he could take my mother to dinner.
That room?
While I cleaned the room.
And you never even
finished it. That's not true. I just did it
You
for
asked her to take me to dinner.
You know, some people want help and some people don't. They just want to vent, I guess.
I want truth.
Supposedly there are deeper issues here. Growing up, Erica and Adrian say their mother was involved in several abusive relationships and didn't protect her children. Maybe somebody wants to talk about clearing that up.
Yeah.
Or maybe they want to all talk at the same time some more. I feel like I'm going through a car wash with the windows down. We'll talk about that next.
My mom jumped from one physically bad relationship to another.
When my mom would have someone over, she'd have the door closed, and my sister would bang on the door, and my mom would actually come out and call her a blocker. For as long as I can remember, my parents' relationship has been toxic.
I would hear my mom screaming all night. As a kid, this made me feel very scared and unsafe. When my mom was feeling jealous or insecure, she would put us in the car and take us to different hotel parking lots to look for my father.
My mom had no filter. She told us all of their business.
My mom would test my dad's breaking points all the time, but I would see her egging him on, saying, hit me, hit me.
Finally, around 14 years old, my dad left. He got pretty sick of the bad drink.
Well, Erica and Adrian say their mother, Desiree, just really spiraled out of control when she divorced their father. Her daughter says mom stopped going to church, started going to bars, and started putting abusive boyfriends ahead of her children.
After my parents' divorce, my mom turned into a different person.
When I left my husband, I did drink. Definitely a 20-year journey of using alcohol improperly.
When I was 11 or 12, I remember my mom bringing strange men to the house. And that's when our relationship became more angry and volatile.
I never brought any man around my children until 3 years after I left him. And she broke in the room and attacked.
I asked him to get out, and he started choking me and wouldn't let me get up. My mom was laughing beside him, drunk.
When my mom would have someone over, she'd have the door closed, and my sister would bang on the door, and my mom would actually come out and call her a blocker. After my mom and my dad split up, everybody that my mom met was an alcoholic or on drugs. Even at a young age, I knew that the guys that she was bringing around were no good.
My mom jumped from one physically bad relationship to another. Several times I've had to pick my mom up bloody and beaten and drunk.
I have been with abusive men, and I am done with it, and Adrian does need to realize that.
I can say that I didn't like the things my mom did, but they weren't my choices, and it wasn't my business.
Erica was very passive, and I had to become the protector for the family.
Okay, Desiree, you are kind of making a lot of faces over there. What'd you want to say?
The person that walked away and wasn't around was, you know, their father. I guess I was the only one there. Maybe they should have went with him. If this is the way it is, he got to walk off scot-free. I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked.
That's what they're saying. It's not what I'm saying.
That was never spoken to me in their lives.
So they've never...
One incident with her that she claims that I don't believe. Mm-hmm. Adrian has made up so many lies, and, you know, I guess she isn't being honest either right now. I can go on lie detectors for everything that I do. I've gotten drunk. I've been with abusive men that have abused me, never my kids.
I'm very sorry.
Maybe some of
I'm very
them
sorry
should've.
that you've been in those situations.
Some of them should have abused your kids.
I'm saying some of them maybe should have set you straight.
What do you mean some of them should have set her straight?
She was just a boss of everybody, so I don't know how anybody could have done anything. She told everybody what to do and where to go and when they could stay and when to leave, even
what do you
her
mean
boyfriend.
some of them should have set her straight?
And said, you don't tell your mom what to do and treat your mom like that. People had to always watch her treat me like dirt and talk to me like dirt.
They treat each other that way.
Do you threaten to put your mother in jail?
I have probably said that out of anger, but I have developed a motto because I have worked on my anger issues. I have had terrible anger since I was younger. And now I have developed, because she's gotten so physical with me, and I haven't at all. I've had marks, scratches. She has physically attacked me several times. All I say now is disturb my peace, and I'm calling the police. I mean, there's no stopping her. I would go in my room, I would shut the door, I'd even put stuff in the door, she would bang.
Can you do lie detector
But I just didn't want to do that to my mother.
Not true. This is not true.
Well, Adrian says that you have slapped her, that you have bit her knee, that you've kicked her, that you've barricaded her in her bedroom, that within one day the police came 5 times, and that she's dropped domestic violence cases on you, but the state has picked them up. And
not true whatsoever. Not true at all.
Well, what's not true?
Not true at all that you dropped any cases.
I did drop all of them. Erica knows that. She needs mental help.
You said she killed your dog.
I'm getting up.
I don't know if she did.
I'm not doing this.
I know that she had been accusing my dog of rat poisoning my dogs. And like a week later or so, my dog got sick and died. She said she was going to slit my dog's throats and my throat ear to ear. She said she was going to watch me suffer because I don't have children and my dogs are like my children.
What, did you threaten to slit her throat and her dog's throat?
I said about her, I did say those words to her. I have to admit that during I have been pushed, Dr. Phil, like a rat, literally against the wall, and I decided to fight back. If I'm so abusive, why was she there?
That's a good question.
A really good one.
Things took a tragic turn for this family 6 years ago when Erica and Adrian's brother Ryan committed suicide. We're going to find out why Desiree says this made all of their fighting even worse after the break. In 2014, Erica and Adrian say they lost their brother to suicide. Desiree claims since losing her son, their fighting has only gotten worse.
My brother Ryan committed suicide March 14th, 2014.
My mom was never that close to my brother. My brother didn't want anything to do with her acting like a kid and having men over that were his age.
A year before my brother passed, he forgave my mom. They had a decent relationship right up until he passed away.
My family has become less close. I've tried to rally us together, and then it just seems fake, and I've given up on it.
My whole family was affected by my brother's suicide, but instead of grieving as a family, everyone took their anger out on each other.
Adrian will say, Ryan killed himself because of you. She says those things to hurt me.
My mother has said to me she wishes that I was in the dirt, not him. And she would say that she wishes he would be here instead of me. Sorry.
This has created a lot of pain for all of you, right?
Yeah.
When he took his life. Has your mother said to you she wished it was you instead?
She tells me she wishes it's me in the dirt instead of him.
And did you say that to your daughter?
A few months ago, I did, yes. Yes, I did.
Why?
For 6 solid, well, I don't want to say 6 because it's been 6. Since a year after or so, my son passed away. She has told me to commit suicide, go kill myself. You know, I guess.
Have you said that to your mother?
I've told her life would be much easier without her and to please relieve us.
That's what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not true,
And
Dr.
I've told
Phil.
her to kill herself. Yeah, I've said it
she
very
said, go
angrily
kill yourself.
and
Go
stuff.
commit suicide. The words.
I have, yes.
Go a lot. A lot.
I have.
A lot. And I was depressed. That's why my son did take his life, because he was
A
like
lot
me.
of the times I would tell her is when she would be so sloppy drunk, too.
Did you let these kids drop out of school?
She got kicked out of school after her last alternative school, and I let her drop out. I'm the person that taught them to read and write. So drunk, how could I do that? I was their teacher until they were in 5th or 6th grade.
And how far did they go?
5th or 6th grade, and then they went to 9th grade, I think, and I forgot when she...
8th was the last
8th or
grade I
9th.
completed.
Oh, I was...
Or 9th, I can't remember.
I only let her quit after she was getting B's, not on a bad note. I took her to learning disability, made sure she got good grades because she begged me to quit. And then when I said, you're not going out on a bad note.
I would just but the excuses are what I want to get rid of.
I didn't let her quit school.
You just had a 10-minute conversation about why. Yes, I did. What
She let me
grade?
quit school against my dad's orders.
Like, I'm not
Keep
trying-
what real? I just
Be
explained
real
to you. I
and
let you quit school.
Tell me something that's worked in this family.
Staying away from each other.
I'm going to just deal with reality here. We'll be right back. Hey, everyone. Season 19 is underway.
If you never made it to Hollywood to be a part of the studio audience, well, now it doesn't matter. If you're in Oklahoma, Georgia, Texas, New Jersey, or anywhere else in the world, now you can be a part of our virtual audience.
Go to drphil.com and click on Be Part of the Audience. I'm here today with Erica, Adrian, and their mother, Desiree. Desiree asked a question: if I'm so horrible, if I'm a torturer, if I'm such a toxic influence in your life, then why are you still there? That's a good question, and I'd like to hear the answer.
She wasn't living there for the past 3 years. She's only been there for the past 5 months. She was throughout.
So, okay,
I
then the
lived
last
there when
5
I
months.
wanted to. Not true, Dr. Phil. Not true, Dr. Phil.
Okay.
I lived there last year. I lived there whenever I choose to.
She just would come
Not
home
true. I
because
would
her
live there for
boyfriend
4 or
would
5
kick her
months, and
out.
it's my prerogative.
Okay.
Okay, well, here's the point.
And I still told you to be out. I still said I want my house empty.
It took me 4 months of more torture and made me relive a lot of stuff.
Because, look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. If what you believe is true, that there's toxicity here, and I'm not saying that it's even your fault. I'm just saying if there's a toxic dynamic going on here, I've always said, you know, you can call me a sumbitch, but you're going to do it long distance.
Right.
Because you can decide I'm no good. You can decide that you don't like me. You can decide whatever, and that's fine. But you're going to do it from way over there, because one of us is going to get away.
Yeah.
Desiree, you've got two daughters that have a lot of unfinished emotional business with you. They feel that you failed to protect them when they were growing up. They feel that you were not there for them in many respects. And you know yourself, because you've told us, and you've told me here today, that there were times that you were drinking too much and that you were emotionally unavailable to your daughters. You admit that openly, and that's had an effect on them. And you can't undo that. Not even God can change what has happened.
Right.
And you have to own that. And, it sounds to me that you've crossed a threshold in your life where you've said enough's enough and too much is too much. I get the feeling that you're kind of through being beat up and used by men. You're kind of through being bullied around. You're kind of through and want to do some different things. I hope that's true.
Well, I've learned the word no for the first time. I've been a pushover, and I maybe said no when I was drinking and had the nerve to, but for the first time, I'm actually taking control of my life for just me. And it's been a couple-year process. I've sat my kids down and said, we don't know how to solve problems. We need to learn how, but I guess I can't be the teacher either.
No, but it's got to start with you. You got to clean your own house first, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
What you need to do right now is a very fair question, and you deserve very specific answer from me. You went to a lot of trouble to get here.
Yeah.
You went through a lot of hell to get here, and I'm going to be very specific about what I think each one of these three need to do when we come back. You are not a peacemaker here. You've tried, but this is way over your pay grade. Seriously, there's toxicity here that's way over your pay grade. And I'm someone that unifies families, not fragments families. Yeah. But sometimes the quickest way from A to Z is not in a straight line. Sometimes you have to take a step back and take care of yourself first so you can really bring some health and approach a situation without an agenda where you feel like you've got to vent and even a score and get in a tit-for-tat sort of scenario. You truly do need some distance from your mother and sister right now. And Adrian, you've been characterized as a bully, and I think you have been a perpetrator and a victim at one and the same time. And all three of you need to tap into the power of forgiveness. Forgiving yourself for what you've contributed to the toxic nature of this family. Forgiving each other for what they've done that have damaged you. And deciding that the past is over, the future hasn't happened yet, the only time is now, and now I choose to be healthy and happy and focused on things that are in the best interest of me and mine. Each of you would really benefit from some individual professional help where you could sit down and kind of talk through, here's my priority list, and I'm prepared to help you do that. And we're in a pandemic right now. I will set it up through teletherapy and telemedicine with Doctor on Demand, which is a company that we actually own. My son founded it. I'm going to set you guys up. I'll jumpstart you with like 10 sessions with a really good doctoral level therapist for each of you individually. That is the fastest way for you guys to have a happy Christmas somewhere down the road. Otherwise, it will never happen. All right, we're out of time. I want to thank all of my guests today. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. If you want to spend more time with Robin, and so many people do, You can find her on her podcast, I've Got a Secret. Robin, you've got some great guests that you've got in your library and coming up. Who are some of the guests you've had on?
You were just talking about forgiveness, and I had a wonderful episode with Catherine Schwarzenegger Pratt, and it was all about the secret to forgiveness, and it was very wonderful, and we had a great time. You can still tune into that one. I have a series, The Secret to Making Your Dreams Come True, and some wonderful women and men. Allie Webb, who founded Dry Bar, her story is just beautiful. She was a young mother and did blowouts and hairstyles in people's homes, and now she has a chain across the country. So it's a very interesting podcast, and I've talked to some very wonderful men and women.
Yeah, and it's about doing what I'm saying, taking care of yourself first,
That's right.
and then reaching for those goals and making them happen. It's called I've Got a Secret. You can find it anywhere you can find podcasts. Stay safe. Hear what I'm saying, guys. I'm going to make this start, I mean, like right away, as in today, if you want it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next time. So long.